Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is Red as Power coming back at you with another video review, and today we're going to take a look at a previous toy line a while back that never actually had the opportunity to be really reviewed by me because I really didn't like the line. I mean, some of it was good, most of it was bad, and I just denied it all its possibilities. So, yeah, I'm going back, and today I am reviewing one of the figures which really never had a chance, which is now getting its chance today, Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Sideswipe. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at a difference between him and one of his previous versions, which is the Human Alliance version. And as you can see, with the Human Alliance compared to the Deluxe of the Dark of the Moon line, which is right here, the paint apps is really lacking. That is the major problem with the Transformers Dark of the Moon figures, because they just are lacking on paint on just about everything. You will also notice that there is a major difference between the two. For the Revenge of the Fallen line, he actually had a cover to the top of his car, while in Dark of the Moon, he actually had like an open, you know, it's just open. I guess you can just say that. I mean, it's just open. It just doesn't look right, especially with the way it was executed on the figure itself. It just, something about it is, it just looks a little too flat. I mean, it's not even sleek. It just looks so freaking flat. I mean, it's atrocious to me. But overall, I am really impressed with the actual design of this car. The detailing on it is nice, though like I said, it's lacking because of the paint apps. I really cannot doubt it that this is actually one of the better Sideswipe movie figures that we've had in quite some time. For another quick size comparisons, we have a look at another Deluxe counterpart, in which you can now tell that the scale of these figures have truly been shot down because of cost problems, I guess you could say. Barricade from the premium movie line is just definitely a lot wider and just bigger in all. This is a deluxe scale figure, people, but I mean, you can really see the difference now. You know, Hasbro had to cut some corners, and scale is definitely one of those things. Though, to me, it's not really a bad thing. It's actually more of a good thing when you think about it, because now it saves space on your shelves or wherever you put your Transformers figures, so you're able to collect more. And as you did see at the beginning of this video, yes, he does have his mech tech weapon, which we'll just go ahead and show you right now. Simply push this in, and it becomes like some kind of blade or sword, I guess you could say, from a blaster to a sword, which, you know, it's okay. It's got some nice Cybertronian symbols on it on both sides. I believe it's both sides. Yes, it is. But it's lacking on paint. I mean, on the original prototype of this figure, the sword mode was actually, it had some paint. I think it was like an orange blade, but now it's just dull. It's just like a dark grayish blue color completely. There's no life to it whatsoever. Like at the beginning of this video, there is the simple mech tech peg hole thing right here on the side, and it does actually rotate. Kind of, not a full 360 because of the spoiler in the back right here just keeps getting in the way. But, I mean, you can kind of get it to rotate like a turret, so that's kind of cool. So, okay, it's time to get him now into his robot mode so we can finish off this review. So, in order to do that, I'd like to start out by bringing these panels out, which are obviously going to be his blades in the robot mode, obviously. Pop this out. Pop this bit out right here. Split these pieces right here, which are about to become his legs. I'm going to go ahead and flip this out of the way, just because it tends to get out of the way once in a while. I'm going to flip this out. I'm going to go ahead and just put his feet together. Go to this side. Do the very same thing. Give him his chicken feet, like so. And yeah, pretty much you have his legs right there. So to complete the figure, we're going to go ahead and finish the upper part of him. Simply, you're going to pop the trunk. It does separate. It's a little tricky, and it does come off once in a while. That is a huge complaint about this figure. It's not a nitpick, it's a complaint, because it just comes off too easily. And lucky enough, if you know how to get this back in, it's actually kind of simple. So yeah. But just to finish off transformation, bring out his arms, bring out the hands, bring this up, do the very same over here. Some of his pieces do tend to get in the way, but it's not really a big problem. The piece right here is going to come out. It's going to reveal his head and the rest of his body. You'll notice that there is a tab. There right here is the hole. Here's the tab. Pretty much just like any other tab and hole, just going to slide it right in and it should pop right in there. So that's okay. Now, a lot of people have really complained about this part right here, but to make this easy and to make it look a little bit more better, what I tend to do is to slide this back as far as I can, lift this up while I bring this out, and then I brought the wings out like so and folding them in like that, and that pretty much blocks this from actually moving. If you actually saw any of that, it can't move now. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Sideswipe completely in his robot mode. For a quick size comparisons, let's bring in Dark of the Moon Starscream, which is pretty much the same scale as Sideswipe, which is kind of weird since a jet is really bigger than a car, but, you know, figure scale doesn't really matter these days. And for another quick size comparisons with a 2007 movie series figure, we have my custom repainted Transformers RC. Which, notice that she's standing in a position. She's not standing completely straight up, but overall, there is the size difference. RC is a tad bigger than Sideswipe, but not by much. But being that out of the way, now we can talk about the gun. It does actually peg into his hands, very simply, like so. And yeah, I think it actually looks pretty nice on him, though it does tend to get in the way of the figure, so you really can't get the arms any straighter than this, which is kind of a shame, but I mean, the overall look, the appearance of this actually looks pretty cool. Not really like this figure, because it's like I said, the side of the car, the doors itself, actually makes up the blades, and you can store them away by simply flipping them up, so there is storage for the weapons when he's not using them in combat or anything, and it doesn't look that bad either. Now, a lot of people do complain about this backpack here. I mean, it really is horrendous. It really is disappointing the way that it was executed on this figure. But I find it that if you actually lift these up a little bit more and bring them out to the side, you have kind of a better appearance to this figure. Or actually, if you flip them out like so and bring them up just a little bit more, he's actually got wings, and that actually kind of looks pretty cool on this figure. So overall, I am very impressed with this figure, and to finish off this review, I'm going to go ahead and talk about his articulation. He's got articulation, a ball jointed neck, which is nice. The head can rotate a full 360, which is awesome. The shoulders, they're on a ball joint. They'll go around a full 360 as long as the wings are not in the way. As you can see, they go in and out. They are double jointed at the elbows, though you can get them at a 90-degree angle if you ain't got the blades sticking up, like so. Bicep rotation. The hands, they fold in and out, like so. No waist articulation due to the transformation, but the hips are actually ball jointed. I mean, they'll go up, they'll go back, side to side. They actually rotate at the thighs, which shows that the seats to the vehicle mode are behind the legs, so that's kind of cool. He's double jointed at the knees, though, just because of the way the chicken leg design, you really can't get much out of it. I mean, that's as far as it's going to be, and that's not even 90 degrees, which is disappointing, but really, nowadays, the chicken leg figures, I mean, they're really lacking on articulation anyway, so what's the difference? The toes, they actually do have some articulation, but that's due to transformation. They actually do pivot up and down. And the heels, they actually do pivot up and down, but, you know, that's just to realign the figure and due to transformation. Okay, now my final nitpick about this figure, while it is great, it still does have its problems. And the huge problem I got with this figure is the fact that his shoulders do not peg in anywhere. There are no tabs or anything. No pegs, no holes. They just they're supposed to stay there, but they don't. I mean, they are tight where they will stay in place, but when you start messing around with the figure, they're going to slide down like so. And it's just going to keep happening and keep happening and keep happening. This figure is well worth it, and if you can find him in stores, do pick him up. And like I said, if you can paint him, well, more the power to you, because that is by far what is really lacking on this figure. I do like the articulation. I do actually like the plastics quality on this figure. Even though he's loose in some places, and some places that are really important, the fact is, you cannot doubt this figure. I mean, he does have light piping, but it's not really as well executed as it could have been, just because of the way that the front of the hood to the car itself is sticking right behind and blocking his head. So that's kind of a disappointment, but really, it's like I said, this just pops off pretty easily in transformation. And, you know, it's not necessary. And it does kind of take care of the backpack problem when you do that. But really, I mean, when you do that, it just kind of ruins the figure, because now you got this sticking out of place and you don't even know where to put it. But I guess some people could actually, like, use it as a hand shield or something. Those who can actually make, like, a custom peg and hole on this figure. But, you know, that's just a little creation talk, people. But overall, I really do like this figure. Some places it's really awesome, and some places it is kind of bad, but when it comes down to it, people, this figure is well worth the attention that it does deserve, because this figure is awesome. And Sideswipe is a pretty cool character, even though he really doesn't get much of a role in the movie series. Hopefully in Transformers 4, if he comes back, he will get more talk time and more battle scene time, which that's what I'm hoping. So that's it, guys. That is the end review of Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Sideswipe. Any questions or comments, leave them below. I will answer them when I have time. And until the next toy review, guys, this is Red is Power signing out. Thank you very much.